Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Ian. Well, it's chucking it down outside, so I thought I would just do a little video as newbies, 10 of the most useful things we've found so far for Matilda. These are in no particular order and they will all be linked below in the description. So let's start with something that everybody's going for these days. We have an air fryer in the house and we find it very useful. But we thought it might be useful just to have a small one for the van. And this is the one we've got. It's a Kasuri. It's 2 litres. Has quite a nice little drawer here. And that drawer will take 2 portions of chips quite nicely. There's only the 2 of us in the van. It's only 900 watts and it's an absolutely smashing little thing if you want to heat up a pie or whatever you want to do with it, just little things. And it says putting the oven on. It's just a really useful tool. So that's the Kasuri 2 litre air fryer. Next, we have several collapsible items that are truly useful, as everybody's aware, because they take up very little room when they're collapsed and they open up to something useful. And such is the case with this. So this is a collapsible bowl, and this actually came as a 2-pack, and we find it very, very useful indeed. We use it as a washing up bowl, but it has handles. So if I decide to take the washing up to the external washing up area on a site, for example, I can put it all in here and I can carry it quite easily, and of course carry back the dry items. We find it very useful for that and other things. It's just very, very handy having the 2 handles. As I say, it came as a 2-pack, they weren't dear, and just fabulous. The third item is something everybody's probably got, in fairness. This is our take on it. This is a Sun Camp. It's an 800 watt toaster, 2 slice, and it works great. The only criticism, if there is any, is that if you're using large bread, the slices can stick out of the top. We get around that by turning them around and toasting the other half, and it works fine for us. But it's great. We've never had it cause us a problem, and it just works really, really well. Of course, if you're having a toaster, you've got to have a kettle, haven't you? And this is our little electric kettle. It's actually just a tad over a kilowatt, but we've not had it cause us an issue as yet. It's the Quest 1 litre. Comes with a base. It's very lightweight, that base, so you just have to be a little cautious, and it can be awkward to put on. Of course, it's gone on first time when I demonstrate that. And it's a great little kettle. It does what it says on the tin, boils the water very quick, and there's plenty in there for the 2 of us. Of course, if you're going to have a kettle, you're going to need something to carry the water in for it. We prefer not to use the water out of our taps, so we got a couple of these. These are collapsible. These are actually 10 litre ones. We carry 2 of these with us and fill them before we set off, and they work really, really well. So absolutely no complaints about these. Just have a screw on lid. They don't leak. They're okay to pick up and they're good pourers. This particular one isn't available at the moment, but I've linked one below that is, which is actually a 3-pack with a 10 litre and 2 5 litres, which may be more useful to you, but there are other ones around and about. But they're not dear and they're terrifically handy, and of course they pack flat when not in use. Of course, one of the things with a motorhome or a caravan or a camper is storage. And one of the things you take with you that takes up quite a bit of room, or can do, is clothes. So we look for a solution for that. And in actual fact, we get all our clothes, apart from coats, in a cupboard. And I'll pop a picture on there to show you. And what we use are these. And these are Amazon Basics packing cubes. That's the small one. And that's the medium one. We have a shelf each. This one's got socks in. I've also got another one with underwear, and I have two of the medium ones. This one's got some t-shirts in, my walking trousers and shirt, things like that, and they take up very little room. It's amazing just how much you can pack in, and of course we always pack way too many clothes anyway, but these are a really good solution. And to be able to get all our clothes bar coats in an overhead locker, one overhead locker, is very useful indeed. There are various solutions for getting rid of your wastewater, and everybody has their own idea of how to do it. After watching a few videos, I decided to go with the Collapse system, and you've probably all seen it. It comes with a bag, comes with a cleaning brush, and you get 4 pipes that extend up to 1 metre, and as the name suggests, collapse back down again. I find this system very useful indeed, but I didn't have enough with 4. I ended up getting a second pack, and although not cheap, it means I've now got 8 pipes, which is much easier, much better, and they all fit in the one bag. So what I did was I used the other bag, and that goes in the shower, to put all our washing in. So I've got a laundry bag, if you like, so a bit of double usage there. And on our 115, it's got the typical this little tap, which can be difficult to deal with. So I got the funnel, and this just pulls to where you want it to be, and then the collapse pipes fit to there, and that solution works really well for us. So sticking with the water theme, we'll look at fresh water. Now I do have a couple of 10 metre food safe hoses with a connector, and that works extremely well, but of course you've got to get it in the van. Now on the 115 we don't have any posh 12 volt pumps or anything like that. It's just basically a filler cap which you remove, and you poke the hose in there to fill it up. So I wanted something that was a little more robust, that wouldn't sort of drop out and cover me in water. And initially I bought this one, which was the cheaper version. What I didn't realise was that there were different sizes of filler cap, and this is a 79mm. Now the one I needed was this one, which is the HEO solution. And this is 77mm. Now you wouldn't think that would make much of a difference, but it makes a huge difference. To get that one in, because of the rubber surround on the van itself, is an absolute nightmare. It can be done, but it's a pain, and I don't want to damage anything. So I ended up buying this. Now this wasn't the cheapest option out there, but it works. It's simple, it clips in, it's dead easy to use, and then the hose just connects onto there, and away you go. You can fill your tank up without any spillage, and it works remarkably well. Of course, by now there may be a cheaper option out there, but this seems to be the only one that's 77mm that I could find at the time. Anyway, I've got it now. It's nice and robust, it's spring loaded, and it works really well, so I'm not complaining. The next item is a little contentious. Some people love them, some people say they don't, some people say you shouldn't use them. We found it very useful, and that's a little dehumidifier. Now, it doesn't look much, does it? It's only 22 watts, it runs at 9 volts, a couple of amps. It's really very quiet indeed, and it's a little 500ml dehumidifier with a drawer. We have run this in the van during the winter, and yeah, people say yeah, you're just pulling in the air from outside, and you know, it's defeating the object. But we do have a humidimeter in the van, and it is definitely less humid in here when we've run this, so I'm quite happy with that. We get about half full some days, which, you know, it's only 250ml, but that's 250 millilitres of water that isn't in the atmosphere of the van. Just helps keep things a little drier. If it's very cold, the inlet here does tend to get iced up, so we don't run it if it's going to be really cold. But it's an absolutely smashing little device. As I say, it's whisper quiet and it works for us. Our largest cupboard is the wardrobe. There's no light in there, there's not even a skylight to provide any light. So I needed some kind of light in there, and I looked at all sorts of different options. What I came up with in the end was this, and I got these as a 2-pack. They're rechargeable, they last really quite well, and you can set them to come on, and then when you close the door they will go off after about 20-25 seconds. And they're really quite bright. They do have various things that you don't need to do, but as you can see, that's pretty bright, and it goes through some silly options that we don't need to worry about. But it does come with some sticky magnets which go on there. I tried putting this up in the wardrobe like so with the magnets on. They didn't hold it when the vehicle was mobile. So I've actually stuck it to the roof, but you can recharge it with a USB-C connection at the end here, and I can reach that from the 12 volt in this cupboard up here, where I have my router, etc. So I can definitely recommend this. They'll work for a couple of weeks without recharging, and give you plenty of light as soon as you open the door of the wardrobe. Works really well. One of the most useful tools you can carry around with you in a motorhome, I guess, is a vacuum cleaner of some kind. The problem with a lot of them is they're quite bulky, and they take up a lot of room. We don't have a garage, we've only got our internal storage, so we wanted something small. And a friend of ours came up with this solution. Now, it's not the cheapest solution out there by any means, but it is actually fabulous. And this is the Shark Wand Vac 2. We actually got it at an extremely good price in a deal, but hopefully that deal will return. So you've got the actual vacuum cleaner itself. You can see how small that is and compact. There is a boost option. There's no real need to use it most of the time. It fills up here. It's rechargeable, and it also has a couple of accessories. The usual pointed accessory with or without the brush, and a carpet tool. And although it doesn't look very much, it's actually extremely powerful, and you can whip around the motorhome in no time at all. All those little stones you bring in with you and things like that, deals with it all extremely well. So although it's not, as I say, the cheapest of things, you can see how compact that is. If I put it back in the right way, and you can see how compact that is. It just takes up no room on the van at all, and in fact a lot of the time we just bring the actual vac itself and one of the tools. It works really well. It lasts several days on one charge. I think it claims about 15 minutes worth. Well, it doesn't take you very long to go around the motorhome, and you can get in some really tiny nooks and crannies with it. As I say, it's really powerful. So there we are, 10 things we found truly useful in our short time of motorhoming, and I hope you found some of it useful too. I will put this in chapters so you can just revisit the bit you're interested in, and all the links will be in the description below. They are affiliate links, but you don't get charged any extra by using them. Thanks to the new subscribers, and indeed to the ones who've been with us since the beginning of the journey. It's a pleasure to have you along with us, and I hope you're enjoying the channel. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that YouTube will let you know anytime that I release a new video. And of course, if you're not subscribed already, why not? It's totally free. Thanks very much indeed for watching, and until the next time, cheerio. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Ian. Today I thought I'd do something slightly different for me, and that is to go through 10 of the most useful items that we found for us with Matilda as newbies, things that we enjoy using and have been useful. No, that's complete rubbish. The next item is something everybody should have for breakfast, and that is a little toaster. We looked at various ones. This one is the... Oh, we can't have that. £800. So the next item, number 3. Oh. The third item on the list is something probably everybody uses, and that's a little toaster. This is a Sun Camp. It's a 2-slice toaster. It's only, I looked at that before, didn't I? 800 watts. Continuing with the water theme and looking at fresh water, I have a couple of 10-metre hoses, food safe hoses, which I use with a linking connector, and they work really well. Then you've got to get it in the van. Now on the 115 there's no 12-volt pump or anything like that, so we just have the usual what would you call it? Cap. Yeah. Our largest cupboard is the wardrobe, and when you open the door there's no light in there at all. There isn't even a hatch above. What would you call it? There isn't even a skylight, right? Our largest cupboard is the wardrobe, and there's no light in there. There's not even